When one grabs a newspaper, there's always a story about lack of medicines in Botswana or shortage at central medical stores. What's going on there?
Well, there are many factors. There are many factors.
This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello, Dumela. Welcome. Very big welcome to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. It's always a privilege and an honor to be able to come to your living room and share, wherever you're watching us from, share with you some experiential knowledge from our guests. We're going to cover this time the area of pharmacy and technology as it impacts pharmacology and pharmacy. So my guest is going to unravel all that. Before I introduce him, let me just say I do have a book. It's called Nuggets of Grit. I have it right here. It's retailing for only $350. You can go to Exclusive Books, grab yourself a copy, or you can find it here at Mogobe Plaza on the first floor. Please, I'll be happy to autograph it for you if you come here. And also, please strike that subscribe button. Always a pleasure for us to be able to wrestle these algorithms and stay relevant. Welcome, Mr. James Wambiru. Yeah, Wambiru.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How do you do?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself and share with the viewers your background?
Yeah, thank you. My name is James Wambiro. I am a pharmacist by profession. I'm also the director and founder of Kgalagadi Group of Pharmacies. Kgalagadi Group of Pharmacies has two branches. There's a branch in Sabong, which started in 2001. There's another branch in Gabs, in Gaborone, around Broadhurst area, that started in 2015. And we have the virtual branch that we call My Melemo app. That is our new baby. We're very excited about it. And, I guess we'll talk a little bit more about it.
So many branches in all?
That's two physical branches and the virtual branch.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me how you got into pharmacy.
I started my pharmacy in Kenya, and my father was, I would say he's the one who introduced me to medicines, because he used to love what you would call nowadays alternative medicines, and he would always come with some alternative medicines.
The original medicines. You mean African?
The African traditional medicines. Yeah. We call them alternative medicines because sometimes it doesn't sound so nice when you call them African. Anybody now can use them. And I would be very interested in knowing what those medications are doing, why are they packaged that way? It drove my way into the field of pharmacy. Yeah. So when it came for me to At the time for me to apply.
He was basically an untrained pharmacist.
He was actually an untrained pharmacist, but a very good one. Yeah.
Tell me about your training yourself.
I trained at Nairobi University. Nairobi University School of Pharmacy is the pioneer school of pharmacy in Kenya. That's where I got my training as a pharmacist. Yes. It's a big school. And an old one, very old. They started in the 70s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And when did you come to Botswana?
I came to Botswana in 1998. After I was actually introduced to the country by a friend of mine who was working at the UN at the time. I had heard about Botswana from other people. And I remember at the time, actually, the PS Health was actually a Kenyan, the late Dr. Mulo. May God
At the
bless
time.
his soul at the time, yeah.
I didn't even know he was Kenyan. I thought he was a Motswana. Dr. Mulwa.
He was a Kenyan, but he had been here for many years. Yes, yeah. So I came to Botswana then. I in the beginning I did a bit of distribution before I made up my mind to venture into retail pharmacy. Yeah.
And moved to Gaborone in 2015.
Yes.
Why did you go from Zambong to Gaborone? Or was it just expansion?
It was expansion, yeah. I must say, okay, a lot of people ask me why we started in Sabong. And by the way, that's where we get our name. Kgalagadi Pharmacy is named after Kgalagadi district. But the thing is, when I first came to Botswana, there's a gentleman who was trying to open a pharmacy there. And he had asked me, that was in 1998, around May thereabout. He had asked me to help him set it up. Because he failed to do one or two things and he was not a pharmacist, he did not succeed. So the project collapsed at around November the same year. And I decided to move back to Gabs and I joined a company called Caps Botswana at the time. I worked there. They were doing distribution throughout the country until I was like, no.
Distribution of what?
Distribution of medications. Yeah. After in 2000.
Meantime, the restaurant was still running in Zambong.
The pharmacy, no.
The pharmacy.
At the time, they had already. They closed. They closed in November 98. So there was no pharmacy in Sabong after that. And because I had been there and I knew what they had not done right, after doing distribution for about 2 years, I was like, no, I can make more in Sabong if I do things right. So I teamed up with a doctor, Dr. Sithare, a very gracious old man. We teamed up. We set up the pharmacy next to the surgery, and we never looked back since. Yeah. So in 2015, we came to Gaps for expansion.
What had they done wrong? One way of learning the, secrets of success is by knowing what not to do.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Actually, the first and most important thing that they had done wrong, the lifeblood of a pharmacy is prescriptions. So if you set up and you don't worry about where the prescriptions will come from, then you cannot talk about practicing pharmacy. So the first thing that we did when we went back was to engage with a doctor so that we open together. Then they would see the patients and we would do the dispensing.
So you need a constant flow of patients.
Yes.
Yeah. So is that why most pharmacies are next to a doctor's surgery?
Definitely. Yeah. That's the secret behind it. Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to talk about the Melemo app.
Yes.
But before we now go into detail on that, how long have you been running a successful pharmacy, and what was the key to that success?
We have been running a successful pharmacy now since 2001. If you compute that, is about 24 years now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of businesses don't last that long.
Thank you. Yeah, we have had a long stint. The secret behind it is very simple. Pharmacy deals with commodities. Very much the same way that a supermarket deals with commodities. Only that we deal with specialized commodities. And and I like telling my staff that, even if somebody walks here and you treat them very well and you don't have the stocks, they will just have a nice time with you and walk out with their money.
Never to return.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So the first secret is stocking. Number two is you have to look after your stakeholders, beginning with your staff, your suppliers, your landlords, your patients, Everybody that you deal with, make sure that you carry out your obligations in time. If it's your landlord, pay them in time. If it's your suppliers, pay them in time. And if it's your patients, give them the best professional service that you can. Yeah. And then you have to be disciplined with money. You have to manage it as a separate entity
from your home,
from yourself. Yes. Otherwise, yeah.
What was the key to opening more than one? You have a total of 3 now.
Yes.
What was the key to achieving that?
It's purely internal systems. Over time, we develop a way of doing things which is unique to us, which we replicate, in the new branch. So the same internal systems, the internal controls that we have in the other branch are the same ones that you find in the other branch. And then the same discipline that we have in the physical pharmacies, we bring it now to the virtual pharmacy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When one grabs a newspaper, there's always a story about lack of medicines in Botswana or shortage at central medical stores. What's going on there?
Well, there are many factors. In the case of the medical stores, I would say it's mostly logistics, the process of acquisition, storage, and distribution. But then that is much less in the private sector. But you still find a bit of shortages here and there in the private sector. Most of those are occasioned by either constraints by manufacturers, but it's also the issue of import regulations. You will find, for example, you get drugs, for example, a molecule that is manufactured by many companies. We call them different generic brands. And maybe just 1 or 2 brands are registered in Botswana. When those 2 brands are not available in the market, then you have a problem with shortage. But you go to countries like South Africa where you find the same molecule is available in probably about 10 or 15 brands. So when the 2 are not available, the other 13 are available. So
yeah, is it the manufacturer's fault for not registering as many brands as possible? Or
yes,
is it the distributor's problem?
Actually, the way it works is the manufacturers will normally apply for registration at BOMRA. And sometimes the need for registration is dictated by the market. So Botswana has a bit of disadvantage because of the small population. So
that's why it's
the
surprising when they
incentive,
say they have shortages when we are so small.
exactly, yeah. So but those are because you wouldn't, for example, bring a brand to the country that is not registered. You can through exemptions, but it's a process. Yes.
Sometimes there's a battle between generic drugs and non-generic. What is going on there? What is the difference?
There's usually no difference. It's just a practice in the market where we say the person who first manufactured the molecule should be given time to recoup their expenditure on research and development. So we have those limitations of when the generics can kick in the market. But beyond that, it's the same molecule. It's the same molecule. So whatever the other one does is the same thing that
you call it molecule.
Molecules.
Molecule, because that's it.
Yes.
Okay. And then
or API in pharmacy terms.
What does API stand for?
Active product ingredients.
Okay. Same active product
ingredients. Yes.
Okay. There's something about the ones from India. Is India putting itself there as a major manufacturer of generic or non-generic? Is it generic or non-generic that they're doing?
Generics? Yes.
Generics.
Yeah. India is a major player in the pharmaceutical industry, and first of all, they are the biggest manufacturers of APIs. You find that even after the molecule is developed in the West, they will contract the Indian companies to manufacture that active product ingredient. Number 2, you find also, I guess because of their numbers, a lot of manufacturing plants are able to be set up there and succeed. So yeah, they are the home of most generic companies.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since your dad was originally a naturalist, so
Yeah.
to speak,
Yeah.
are you dabbling in any way in what they call naturopathy or alternative medicines?
I wouldn't say so, but I'm a fan of alternative medicines. We always make sure that we have as much of those alternative medicines in our store as possible. Most people who have come to our store will attest to that. Yes, whenever we feel like this is good for this condition, we stock it. But we are, yes.
And
we
is
are.
the stuff is even locally manufactured things available?
Mostly what we call crude drugs. Like, for example, we have Sengaparire, which is,
Sengaparire.
yes, the devil's claw.
Yeah, yeah.
Very popular. We do stock it
In original form.
in the original form. Yes, we have it in the original form.
It's effective for what?
It's useful for many things. We use it. It helps in arthritis. It helps in constipation. It is an immune booster. It has a lot of uses. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
A very good product that is produced locally.
Yes.
Or generated locally. Yeah.
How dependent are we in foreign medicines as a continent, or is the dependency getting reduced, or what's happening? I'll tell you why I ask you this question. I read in the paper that things like ivermectin and a few other things may become available from Botswana Vaccine Institute.
Well, Africa is very dependent on outsiders for pharmaceuticals. But I think the first reason that I would point out is the fragmented market. If I can go back to what I was talking about, for example, suppose the whole of SADC had a common registration authority. It means if you set up a manufacturing plant anywhere within SADC, then you would have a big enough market to sustain you as a business and probably to export to other parts of Africa. It would even be better if the whole of Africa was a single market. Then we would even compete with India, because you're talking about a billion plus population.
1.4 billion, some people say very soon. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's the size of the market to blame. Our registration authorities are also they have not harmonized their procedures. If they do, then you would say if it's registered in Botswana, it can be sold anywhere. So I think if we can head in that direction, then that problem of dependency on
has it not got to do with the custom system and the fragmented nature of our slowness in implementing AFCTA, Africa Continental Trade Agreement?
Exactly. Yeah, there are those measures that are underway. There's the free trade agreement. I have also met people who say that there is something being worked out for a selection of chronic medications like ARVs, TBs, and anti-diabetics. But the faster we get there, the better.
Yeah. Let's talk about the exciting subject of this My Melemo app. My Melemo app. How did it all start? How did the idea spark in your mind?
Yes. You see, the world today is headed in that direction. There's a lot of talk, for example, about telemedicine, where you can access health services online. It is an area that has advanced a little bit further elsewhere, but it is still gaining traction in most parts of Africa. Yes.
How does that work?
You see, telemedicine, like, for example, let's say you want to consult a physician. In other parts of the world, you find you can go to an app, book an appointment, and then you get a virtual consultation. And then the physician on the other side can generate a prescription, forward it to a virtual pharmacy, and you get delivery of medications at home. That is just a simple way of explaining,
Is that in the
how
West?
it would
Is that
happen.
the
Yeah.
US and UK? Is that what's happening?
It's happening in the Western countries, US, UK, Europe, There's even surgeries that are conducted remotely nowadays through telemedicine.
Yes.
So we are lagging behind in that area, and we thought maybe we could pioneer at least in the area of pharmacy. And we are also heading to, in future, maybe I'll get a chance to say that we want the app to be a one-stop shop where you can book a consultation with a GP or a specialist, a gyne or a general physician, or then they call you. They can generate lab requests. They get the lab request, the lab results via email. They look at your results and then they call you back. If they don't have to see you physically, then they can prescribe something that you need and forward it to the pharmacy for dispensing.
Have you tested it in the market, and is it already available?
We haven't gone there. At the moment, what you're providing is just the physical, the virtual pharmacy services. Yeah, but we are
As
headed
opposed
there.
to?
Probably by the end of the year. The other specialties are not in the app yet.
Yeah.
But all the pharmacy services are in the app already. Yeah.
Okay. So, and how you're apart from prescriptions, what is the plan for the app?
That is exactly where what I was talking about. We are heading to a situation where the app will be a one-stop shop for all your health needs. You will be able to go into the app.
Cosmetics, perfumes.
Yes.
Consultation.
Yeah, consultations.
Submit scripts.
Yes, all those things. Yes, and it will also be we will also have a health information center where we will have different specialists posting in pertinent information on current conditions, in a place where you can also post your questions and you get answers from specialists and so on. Yeah.
How does one get the app?
The app, as long as you have a smartphone, you just need to go to your app store. It's available on all platforms. It's available on Apple, Android, and Huawei. Search for Melemo. Melemo, one word. Download it, install it, then you click on it, and you just click on Get Started and follow the prompts. Make sure that you also click on My Profile and insert all your details there, the name, the email address, your physical location for delivery purposes. Yeah, and if you have medical aid, also make sure you insert your medical aid details. There's a space for that. Yeah, and you're good to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to come up with it or to put it together?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's like I said, it's something that we are growing in-house. We were trying to replicate our physical pharmacy in the virtual pharmacy, and we had to work very closely with the developers to make sure that whatever one would want to get in a physical pharmacy, they are able to get it in the virtual pharmacy. It's easy because we are the experts in that area. Yes.
How do you arrange deliveries?
We have a delivery department for deliveries within the locality of Gabs and Sabong. But outside Gaborone, we deal with the courier services. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 branches: Gaborone, Sabong, and
now the virtual pharmacy. Yeah.
And
the virtual is in both. Yeah.
Yeah. The virtual
it doesn't have a physical location. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any glitches that you had to overcome?
Yes. The main problem is the issue of network coverage. There are certain places that are not covered by the internet services, and obviously you need an internet service to access the app. The second one is the payment services. because a lot of people ask, how do we pay? For example, we need something in Ganzi or in Maun. How do we pay for them? and we have been able to overcome that by creating a pay gate in the app.
Okay.
So as long as you have a Visa card, you can pay. But we also are open to payment through e-wallets, Orange Money, and other payment services. Yeah.
What about authentication? How do you authenticate the source of the prescription in terms of making sure that there's a doctor who's qualified to issue such a prescription?
Yes. There are requirements. There are legal requirements for a prescription, which must be fulfilled even by the scripts that come through the app. Like there has to be the name of the doctor, the location, all those things that go with a legal script. Yeah.
I noticed that in most pharmacies, the pharmacist is standing there non-stop.
Yeah.
Does this app relieve the pharmacist in any way?
Not quite. On the contrary, it keeps you standing most of the time because you have to go pick this, and it's a pharmacy is a hands-on profession. You have to be the one who is dealing with the patient and also dealing with the product. So even if it is going to pick the product or to reconstitute,
there's no shortcut there.
There is no shortcut. Yeah, it is
if
no
anything,
shortcut.
it's added more work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How have Botswana received this app?
It's gaining traction, I would say. At the moment, our footprint is all over the country. We have about 14,000 users already, which is quite a good number.
Big number, yeah.
It's quite a good number, yeah. And still growing. It's gaining traction.
And it's only been around how long?
For 2 years now.
And already 14,000?
Around 14,000 users, yeah.
Regular users?
About a quarter, yes, are regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And what are you doing to make it more widely available and accessible?
Basically that is about marketing the app, but we do a lot of face-to-face activations. We do a lot of social media advertising. We do radio as well. We have worked together with Yarona FM in the past, and then we rely on the ones who have had the experience of using the app. We expect them to also spread the word, to their friends and families. Yeah.
When we were prepping, you mentioned that there are times when you actually need a doctor. There are times when you don't need to interact with the doctor.
Yes.
How do you tell those apart, and how do you make a decision?
It is exactly the same way it happens in a physical pharmacy. Because normally what happens when somebody doesn't feel okay, the first port of call is normally the pharmacy. Then they'll be like, can I have a painkiller, or can I have a cream that, and then the pharmacist will have to say, no, but that pain that you're feeling, it does not seem like any other simple pain. You need to see the doctor. Or if the pharmacist sometimes feels like the pain is just simple, or maybe the problem with is just simple,
how do you
then they
that?
just help direction.
Yeah, let me understand. How do you then have that interaction, that process via the app?
Thank you so much for that question. You realize when you log into the app, one of the things that the app demands that you put there is your contact number. Number two, we don't have a seamless service where you, for example, you order for a product like, let's say, Benylin, a common product. If you order for that product, you don't automatically get that product without talking to anyone. The order lands on the pharmacist's desktop, and then he has to call you to confirm exactly whether you need that Benylin. Or because you find a situation where sometimes people do self-diagnosis. They place an order for something when in fact that's not what they need. They probably need an alternative product. So there's always that human interface. Who is the pharmacist? Yeah.
Okay. So that one cannot be avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you mentioned things like gout, things like migraines.
Yes.
How then do you handle a situation where it turns out to be serious?
Like, you see, there's no alternative to talking to the patient, because the patient is the one who perceives their condition. Like, okay, let's say it's, for example, common cold. If the need to see the doctor will be determined by the seriousness and the duration of symptoms. So that interaction, because you have to talk to the patient, like I said, when they place an order, it is the pharmacist who picks up the order, and before they dispense, they have to call the patient, and then you have a chance to ask those questions. When did you start feeling the symptoms? How severe are they? What other things did you forget to post? And then in the course of that interaction, you'll be able to advise the patient, no, this is not what you need. You actually need to see the doctor. And then you can post the prescription through the app as well. Yeah.
So it cannot work remotely, entirely remotely. It needs one-on-one interface,
It needs that
one-on-one connection.
professional interface. Yes, definitely. And that's very important in medications. You cannot have a seamless ordering system like you have with the supermarket apps, where the order lands on the on the store person, and then there has to be that interaction between the pharmacist and the person on the other side.
Yeah. Does AI have a role in any of this? Artificial intelligence?
It is something that we are now trying to integrate. Like, for example, the chatbot, but it's still in the works. Yeah, still in the works, especially for frequently asked questions, and a few other tasks that we can. But we don't want to abandon the traditional pharmacy, where the pharmacist is the one who is dealing with with the patient on the other side.
Because the chatbot might get it wrong.
It may get it wrong,
with lethal consequences.
Exactly. We have to be very careful the way we integrate it. Yeah.
So no, that's very interesting. So how has business been since the app came into existence?
It has been getting better by the day, as people get used to it, and I know that those who have used it have repeatedly used it, and we have had new users every day. It's getting better. The future is bright. Yes.
How does it then interact or intersect, if you like, with websites, with WhatsApp? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes. The app has a WhatsApp option. If you go into the app, in the contact us section, and I have seen that among our users, there are people who are more comfortable with WhatsApp, so they can go to WhatsApp and interact with us on WhatsApp. We also have a website, which is also available on the app. But the app users will, if they don't go to WhatsApp, I see they are just comfortable interacting on the app platform. Which is what we really want.
You don't want them to go to WhatsApp,
to the website. Not quite, but in the app, that's where you get the best of our service. Yes.
Where is this heading? Is this heading to a point where you pharmacists will just have one massive warehouse behind them, and they will just be interacting on the app, and there won't be need for patients at all to come and meet with the pharmacist?
That's definitely where it's heading, and it's already happening in places like US. Perhaps I can illustrate this with a few examples. For example, let's say you, whenever you go to see a doctor for any condition, you almost all the time end up with a prescription. And what we have been saying is, you don't have to move about. looking for those medications, you can just from the doctor just post it in the app, and then go back to your office or go back home, and then we will take the script and look at the medication, dispense the medications, and then we call and cancel you over the phone.
Yeah.
And then we deliver to your doorstep. The same thing, for example, let's say you wake up with a bout of flu, you don't have to get out of your house. Just post something in the app, we'll call you, and then we'll post.
You will call.
We'll call you.
You can't interact via the app.
We can. We can even interact via video call. Then if we can help you, we help you. If we have some advice, maybe like you need to see a doctor, then we also refer you to a doctor.
Do doctors have to be educated about this? And if so, what are you doing there to enlighten them?
Yes. We have had to talk to them. There are a few that we have talked to, and they are waiting for that development where we will have the consultation module. But we have to be very careful, because there are instances where the doctor really has to be with the patient for physical examination. But normally it will be useful where we have cases of follow-up, because there are times when you see the doctor and then he tells you, can you kindly come back after 2 weeks and tell me how you're doing? In that case, then you don't have to come physically. You can just tell the doctor, oh, that pain has declined, the wound is healing, and then they can be like, no, continue with the medications. Or that kind of system. So it will reduce the number of visits to the doctor, and going back to the question that you asked, they'll come to a situation where you just have a pharmacy, a big pharmacy, a store, a warehouse of sorts, and you're dealing with your clients virtually.
That's why the future. Speaking of the future, you envisage drone-guided deliveries, or drone-engineered, drone-powered deliveries.
Exactly.
How is that going to work?
It's a concept that's gaining traction in the Western world again, where drones are very versatile, and they are also very fast. And you don't have to navigate
areas.
You don't have to navigate the traffic to do deliveries. So when that time comes, I guess it will be a very exciting addition to our portfolio of services.
Are you already talking to the drone people to see how you can integrate?
Yes. We are in discussion with some people, but there's a bit of, I think there's also the role of the Civil Aviation Authority. When that time comes, I think there's also the regulatory requirements.
Are you saying you can go as far as my kettle post, 200 kilometers away?
Yes, we have drones that can do that. But most of the ones that are used for medicine deliveries are within a radius of about 10 kilometers or so, 10 to 20 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine whether when it gets to your house, the drone will just sort of float around and press a button.
You press a doorbell. Exactly. You'll have a key, or you'll have facial recognition. And then it will open for you. You get your medications and
wow. And now, Health Information Center. What are you envisaging about that in the future?
Our Health Information Center will be the place to go when you are in need of any kind of health information. We envisage a situation where we will have some specialists who will be on their own generating information, either video or written, on pertinent topics. Like, for example, if during the COVID times we had a similar service, then you would have somebody giving you information on COVID, what it is, what you need to do, what you need to prevent it, and so on. It will also be a place where you can post your questions, a place where you can get virtually any of your health concerns, attended to remotely.
How do you pay exactly when you are using the app? Is it going to get your credit card details or the way you do paying online, or what? How that happens?
There's the option of using the normal, payment services, like I said, Orange Money, e-wallet, MyZaka, and so on. But we also have a PayGate. That one needs you to use your Visa card or MasterCard. And an Express card is also available there. Yeah.
Okay, and you haven't had any problems there.
We haven't had any problems, and we use a very credible PayGate, DPO, which is used by most of the businesses around this region.
Okay. I want to ask one or two questions about pharmacy in general.
Yeah.
We always want to know whether this type of business is sustainable given the fifth, industrial revolution that we are in. Let me ask it bluntly: is there lots of money to be made here?
Well, let me say the human beings will always need medication. There will always be need for medications. Is there a lot of money to be made?
You don't want.
Well, I of course there's going to be money, to be made whenever there's, services and products being sold. The nature of medications may change, because
Can you become a multimillionaire from running a pharmacy?
Yes.
I'm almost tempted to ask you whether you are one.
I may not answer the last part, but you can. Yes.
You won't answer the last part.
Yeah, but you can.
You can.
You can. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you say that?
It depends on the scale. Yeah. Like, for example, we are trying to expand our coverage. So, what we are trying to do is, even with the app, is to expand our client base so that we are not limited by distance or space, rather. We want to have clients from all over the country. So, we are trying to expand our business.
So somebody watching watching this podcast, thinking about being a doctor or being a pharmacist, you obviously would encourage them to choose pharmacy if they are really interested. Why? Why would pharmacy trump medicine in the general sense?
You see all those areas of medicine are like two sides of the same coin. And I normally say to most people, if you see a very good doctor, and he does a very good diagnosis and a very good prescription, and then that script gets messed up at the pharmacy, then it makes nonsense of
the doctor's
what the doctor did. So and vice versa. You can have a very good pharmacist who dispenses something that wasn't done right by the doctor. So they are all good. I wouldn't say this is better than the other. I would say they are probably two sides of the same coin. They are all important.
They are all important. They serve a unique purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. And looking back yourself, any regrets?
I don't have major regrets, but I just wish the market can open up.
Yeah.
Especially from the regulation aspect.
Yeah.
If the local market can access more products, probably by integrating with other countries around here, so that the patients can get a wider choice of products and much easier availability of medications. Yeah.
Is it your view that we are over-regulated?
To some extent. Yeah. Sometimes we regulate ourselves.
So we need a Donald Trump. to come
We
and
need somebody to
get
disrupt
rid of all these many regulations, because
We
he's
need-
against regulation almost.
yeah, we probably need somebody who can come and disrupt the system. I'm not saying it's not being done. I know there are efforts in that direction, but the faster we move that way, the better.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for the patient. It should all be done in the interest of the patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this being an entrepreneurship show, I have to ask you, what are the greatest challenges you've encountered, and how did you overcome them in this pharmacy career of yours?
Um, the greatest challenges that we had, especially this is now unique to Botswana. You find that the practice of pharmacy was somehow fused with the medical practices by doctors, where you would go to a surgery and you get the doctors dispensing virtually everything. And we have come a long way, and we have had now even the medical funders on board. At least what is supposed to be done by the pharmacists is now being done by and large by the pharmacists. We still have that challenge in certain areas, but I think by and large we have overcome it. That was probably the biggest challenge. The other challenge is availability of drugs. But that also appears to be fizzling out as more and more generics gets into the market. Yeah, but besides that, it has been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those because of supply chain issues?
Yeah. Supply chain issues and regulation environment, like I said. Yeah. So we need more products to get registered in the market, but it doesn't happen at the pace that we would want.
Yeah.
Or to the extent that we would want. We still have products that we would want in this market, but they are not in the market yet. Yeah.
Does it take long for us to clear products to come in
On
through Bomra or?
not quite. Bomra is quite efficient, but like I said, you need somebody to apply for registration for them to take up the matter. So whenever an application is submitted, they are fast enough.
Could this be a legal issue in any way? I mean, do you need to have the right type of lawyers to get involved in that area?
I think it's largely a political problem. I think leaders have to come together and say, no, what is in the interest of our people? And then they can go and probably discuss with, let's say, South Africa and the neighboring countries and see how countries can work together, because you can still have common regulatory procedures, so that whatever is registered in one place is acceptable in the other jurisdiction.
Yeah.
If that was to be done, it would solve a lot of problems that we face today, especially on availability of drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard doctors complain a lot about challenges having to do with medical aid, getting paid on time, and so on. Do you, as pharmacists, have similar challenges?
They're not common. I would say the medical aids have really acquitted themselves. They don't always pay the right amount for products, but when it comes to paying in time, they have really acquitted themselves. To their credit, we must applaud them for that.
Well, I mean,
but we always complain about
give
the
credit where credit is due.
But prices, the prices that they pay for products, yes, that is always a bone of contention. Yeah.
There's always a big argument that prevention is better than cure. That it's always better not to deal with the medicine. I'm just thinking cynically that you need you need people to come to you. You need people to fall sick. But is there a sense in which you as pharmacists would encourage the public to improve their practices or their lifestyle in such a way that's it's good for the greater good of the community? I don't know if you get my question.
I get your point very well. And actually, I am actually a proponent of that kind
Preventative
of
medicine.
lifestyle changes. And then, we have supplements that we give to prevent certain conditions. We have quite a wide range. We have that a lot in our stores. Yes, prevention is better than cure. Yes.
So you encourage, do you reach out, do you encourage people to change their lifestyles and so on?
Yes, a lot.
Because
Yeah.
now all I
Yeah.
see pharmacists doing, they look at the prescription, they
And
give you,
dispense.
they never spend 5
They
minutes
never spend
advising you
time. Yeah,
about your health choices.
It is something that we are very keen about. We ourselves in our stores, we have that.
Yeah.
We have to talk to the patient.
Yeah.
We should never assume that they know this or they were told this by the doctor. No, we have to interact and
Now there's a
discuss with
question
the
I want
patient,
to
yeah.
ask for myself, not
Yes.
anybody else.
Yeah.
I have it in my head that it's generally preferable to opt for organic or original medicines as opposed to something that has been done and processed in the lab. In other words, that original organic trumps chemical. So I tend to have a bias against chemicals because I believe that you never quite know how they've been done. It's just me. So what education can you share there?
I would say it's better to have a positive attitude towards both and we have different schools of medicines. Like we have when you go to what we call homeopathic, it's basically natural products where we say like treats like. The Western medicine is what we call this disease is caused by this bacteria, and you get a product that targets that particular bacteria, so you are treating the cause of the disease.
Okay.
Of course, there are pros and cons of both. I would say maybe go for both. The one that works. Yeah.
Okay.
The one that works today may not work next time.
Yeah.
So it's better to have the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the conclusion of our conversation by discussing the future in terms of what the future holds for Kgalagadi Pharmacy and for this app.
Yes.
When I say the future, I mean long term, 10, 20 years.
Exactly.
What can we foresee and envision?
Yeah. First of all, I would, anybody watching this this podcast, I would want to say that you need this app. Definitely, you need the app. You never know when you will need it. We envisage a situation where everybody will have the pharmacy app. For the simple reason, first of all, it frees your time and it gives you the convenience of accessing the pharmacy services from anywhere. As long as you have access to internet, you can access the pharmacy services anywhere. And number two, it also makes it easy for you to even care for people that are your dependents. For example, let's say, for example, you have a child in Gaborone and you're working in Maun. If your child has a prescription, for example, it's easy to just have it submitted and then you just pay through the app and the medication is delivered to the child at home. So I envisage a situation where everybody will be using the app and they only have to go out to look for anything or to visit a pharmacy if it's very, very necessary. Yeah, that is the future that we envisage. It is the future of pharmacy.
Okay.
And by and large, medicine as well. You'll be going out to see a doctor physically only when it is very necessary. Yeah.
Any chances of spreading your wings, maybe additional branches throughout the country, and then perhaps even in Kenya having a branch there?
Definitely, it's something that we are working on. But the kind of expansion that we will have is to get partners in various parts of the country. Like at the moment, we are supplying, the app is being served from our 2 branches, but we are trying to come up with a solution that will allow us to have a partner in, let's say, Mahalape, Francistown, Maun, so that if you place an order and you are in Maun, it is GPS guided.
Yeah.
So if you're near that pharmacy in Maun, then it sends that order to our partner in Maun. If you're in Francistown, the same. Then it will solve two problems. First of all, the cost of transport will be low because it's just next door, and the speed of service will also be low. Yeah,
The speed will be higher.
Will be fast. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry for the confusion. Yeah.
So that's really
Yeah.
a net positive for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, does the app work with every device?
Yes. It's the app is available on all devices. Like I said, we have a version for all the platforms: Apple, Android, and
Okay.
Huawei. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you wish to ask me a question as we wrap up? Do you have a question for me, sir?
Do you have the app with you?
No, I only learnt about the app for the first time today, to be honest. But I'm fascinated by it.
Okay.
What does it cost to get it?
It's free.
I saw some here that within a certain radius, 20 puller.
Oh, the delivery. Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned that probably. Yeah. We do have a modest delivery fee. The lowest is 20 puller for 15 kilo. Actually, currently it's 15 kilometer radius
Of Gaborone.
Yeah, and then beyond that, it goes up gradually, but it's just modest. Yeah, just enough to cover the transport cost. Yeah. Yeah.
But to upload it is free.
Yes, to upload it is free. Absolutely.
What does
free.
one have to do to get it?
You just if you have
Apple Store and then,
if you have Apple Store and you have internet, just go to the App Store and type My Melemo. You get it there and download it here and install it.
I hope I've answered your question. I have. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now look at that camera.
Yeah.
And as we wind up our conversation, please give the viewer one last message of encouragement as we part.
Okay. What I would want to say is let us not be afraid of technology. We have these new solutions that are coming through technology. We should not be afraid of taking them up and taking advantage of the positive things they offer. Like, for instance, in our case, we are offering a pharmacy solution that saves you time and brings the pharmacy to your doorstep, literally. Yeah. It's just a click away. Number two, we are the pioneers in this area. And what I would say is if you're out there and you want to start something, don't be afraid. There may be nobody else in the market. There may not be a beaten path, but just take it up and work on it.
Okay.
You will certainly succeed. Yeah.
Can you give the viewer all your contacts and where they can reach you, etc.?
Yeah.
We need to look at this. I don't know.
Yeah. So like I said, we have two physical pharmacies in Sabong. We are located by TM Shopping Mall. Our telephone there is 6540860. In Gaborone, we are located along Kubu Road, Broadhurst. Our telephone number there is 3170950. And for the app, you just need to go to your app store and download My Melemo app. You will be able to have this pharmacy on your phone from anywhere. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Open.
Yeah.
May you receive the blessings that you deserve from the Lord.
Thank you.
And may your business thrive.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, viewer, please, if you haven't done so, strike the subscribe button. And thank you so much for listening. We don't take it for granted. Bye-bye.